Welcome to another Thursday on Geeks of the Week. I'm Mario. And my geek points just went up through the freaking roof. This week I talked to the geeks, answered some questions, played catch up on shows, and finally talk comics. Now on to the video. I'm going to talk to the geeks first. Steph, I'm very sorry to hear about WonderCon. What the rest of you should know is that she recently moved up there, and the second she did, they literally started having the convention somewhere else. I too would be what the freak. On the plus side, if it is going to be in Anaheim, I might attend. So, hooray! Also, we exceeded expectations? Yes, because I have never exceeded expectations before in my life. So I'm happy I could contribute to that. By the way, Nikki Lulico, I'm with Steph on this. Why weren't we invited to the wedding? I want to be a ring bearer. Or Usher, the R&B singer, because he could dance. By the way, I'm an ordained Jedi. Could have married you too. So the rest of the geeks are feeling pretty left out. While I'm on the topic of Luluki, which is Luluko and Nikki combined, Nikki knows all the cool British people as evidenced by her video last week, and Luluko could not be with us this week because she's suffering from the traditional post-con crash. But she will be back soon with some pretty awesome stuff, so hang tight for that. Now on to the questions. Power asked this week, what do we think of fan service? I have to admit, when it comes to anime, I'm a super noob, so I had to look it up, and after I did, I'm gonna agree with Power's answer, in that if the only thing a series has is fan service, then I don't like it. It's okay if you use it, but if you're only relying on that, then the quality of your story probably isn't any good, and you're actually gonna turn off fans. You're gonna have the opposite effect of what you wanted. So I'm for it as long as it's used on the right occasion. Nikki asked this week what two characters we would like to see get in the dance battle. First, I'm invoking the Batman rule. As we all know, Batman will win at anything, so using him as your answer is completely unfair. With that said, the geeks know I really like hats. So I would pit Mad Hatter versus Willy Wonka, the original. I think it would be such an epic battle. On one hand, you have the Mad Hatter, who's crazy, so you know he's going to try just these off-the-wall moves. And on the other, Willy Wonka, who is just full of energy because of all that candy he's around. I think it would be such an awesome battle, and I think Willy Wonka will win, just because he'd probably be more focused, and Mad Hatter's crazy and get distracted easily. Now I'm going to give you guys updates on shows I've been catching up on. I'm one episode away from finishing Sherlock Season 2, which I'm putting off and savoring because I recently heard that they're not going to start shooting for Season 3 into 2013. So, thanks a lot, Nikki, for introducing me to an awesome show that I won't be able to watch until early 2014 if I'm lucky. So yeah, thanks. No, really, thank you. It is an awesome show, and I do thank you. While I'm on Sherlock, I actually heard that they're going to make a manga based on the series, but sadly, they're not going to translate it into English. So, Paro, Luluko, if you guys know how to read Japanese, please let me know because I would totally love to read that manga. Also, I am 5 episodes away from finishing the first season of Metalopolis. They're these great, short, hilarious episodes. Death Clock are the gods of metal, and I totally understand Steph more. Especially when she has the lack of her geeky things. She completely acts like a Death Clock fan, which is intense and brutal. So I get you now more, Steph. I totally get you. Now on to the comic portion of the video. Since it is the first week of September, I'm going to say what my top 5 comics were for the month of August. Starting with number 5, Spider-Man issue 4. This has been the crossover between the regular Marvel U Spider-Man and the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales. This issue was all talking and dealt with the emotional impact of Aunt May meeting the grown-up Peter Parker. I have to admit, for the reader to get the full emotional impact of this issue, you have to have been following the Ultimate Peter Parker and then later his replacement Miles Morales. And if you have, this issue was touching. And if you haven't, the strong dialogue and plot lets you know something significant is occurring. This artwork is spectacular, and this has been some of Bendis' best work in a long, long time. The crossover has definitely been worthwhile and a standout of last month. Number 4, Thief of Thieves, issue 7. This was the conclusion of the first arc as Master Thief Redman's plans revealed on he pulled off the heist. I did a longer review for this on an earlier video, so feel free to check that out. This issue was satisfying, but let me use a metaphor because just saying satisfying doesn't do it justice. It was as if I ate a delicious meal, but I didn't eat too much that made me sick, or too little that I was still hungry after. I ate the perfect amount and I was utterly content. That is what this issue was. It wrapped up the story perfectly, and this has been a great new series, and I'm looking forward to the next arc. Number 3, Punk Rock Jesus, issue 2. Super simple summary. Jesus has been cloned by a company and they're following his life in a reality show titled J2. This issue Number 3, Punk Rock Jesus, issue 2. Super simple summary. Jesus has been cloned by a company and they're following his life in the reality show titled J2. This issue starts to flesh out the characters more. We discover motives and then develops them further. For example, we discover why Mikhail took the security guard job, and Gwen Fairley, who's feeling isolated after giving birth, is developing depression and a bit of an alcoholic issue. When she escapes the home that they're shooting the show in, the New American Christians make their move against her because they do not like her. The concept of this comic is brilliant. It's smart and edgy in a controversial way. Trust me when I say they do not hold back. This series just began and it's not too late to get on board. This was a great issue. Number 2, Saga issue 6. Mark and Elena finally found a ship to get off the planet with their baby as landfall soldiers are riding their tail. But the bounty hunter named the Will vows vengeance for reasons I can't say because this is spoiler free. Fiona Staples' artwork continues to be a visual treat, and Brian K. Vaughan is just an epic storyteller. Sadly, this comic is going to take a 2-month hiatus, but I think it's being done on purpose because the trade is set to come out in October, and it makes it perfect for new readers to catch up and then jump on board with new issues. Given the high quality of this comic, I really don't mind if they take a short break, but come back soon, Brian. Don't leave again and not come back. I will find you and I will make you tell me stories, and I am not joking with you. Finally, number 1, Lock and Key Grindhouse one-shot. This issue set in the 1950s as criminals have robbed a hotel and decided to hold up in the Locke mansion and hold that Eris Locke family hostage until they can get away. Also in the back there's a detailed blueprint of the Locke home and a short web comic called Kate or Die that I will be posting a link below. This was the first introduction to that Eris Locke family, yet the characters were already well developed. It adds another layer to this rich world. The final arc for this series is set to come out soon, and I'm treating any Lock and Key issue like gold. I'm going to be sad when it ends. If I could recommend one comic to anybody, it definitely would be Lock and Key. I would suggest you start from the beginning and start with the trades. So this was another stellar issue and definitely the top comic for the month of August. Phenomena. Did I start shooting? Oh shoot. Okay, I'm just going to keep that in. Anyways, this is the end. It feels like I phoned it in this video. I'm sorry. Next week I promise it will be better. Remember to comment, tell your friends about Geeks of the Week, but don't tell them today. Tell them tomorrow or one of the days that's the other geeks so they can watch them first. I do not want to be the introduction. Remember to like, subscribe, check out the other more awesome, cooler Geeks of the Week, and stay geeky. Luluco, if you don't come back soon, I am taking my dog to the pound. Yeah, so if you don't come back next week, he's going to the pound. It's okay, boy. This is your ultimatum. Don't attack!